We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello everyone, myself Mr. Pradeep Patel, working as Assistant Professor in Vidyadeep Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today we are going to learn in subject Fundamental of Machine Design and topic that is example based on moment of inertia of a planar cross-sectional area. So we generally have to remember moment of inertia of two standard steps, that is first of a rectangle, then circular, semicircular, quarter circle, right angle triangle. Okay, so these are the basic steps, shapes, standard shapes, which formula you have to remember. Now we are going to solve one example, how to find out the moment of inertia of any cross-sectional area. Okay, so general procedure we have to follow. First of all, you have to find out the centroid of your object. Whenever you are calculating the moment of inertia, first of all you have to find out either your reference axes are given or not. If you have given, then you have to follow this reference axis, and if you have not given, you have to take the outermost axis of your object as a reference axis. Then you have to check the axis of symmetry, if your object is having axis of symmetry or not. If axis of symmetry, then you are directly getting x bar or y bar depending upon the axis of symmetry. After calculating the centroid, next you have to find out the moment of inertia about x-axis as well as y axis. Okay, so you have to precisely do all these things. If you have a composite body, yeah, then you have to divide your objects into different parts. Okay, and in this you are having a different terminology. Either you are taking some shape as a common shape and you are removing something, either you are adding something. Okay, so that is the important things. Now we are seeing one example here. Okay, so find the moment of inertia at a horizontal, vertical, and the top and the bottom edges of a given lamina. They have given one lamina here, C-shaped lamina, but both flanges is having a different dimension. You can observe one is 220, another is 600. Okay, they have given, and wave length, that is 20 mm. You can see here. So centroid of a given lamina. First of all, you have to find out the centroid. Either you have to check, is it symmetrical about any axis? No. If it is C-shape, then you are thinking it is symmetrical about axis, but not. Why? Because it is having got different shapes of flanges. Okay. Now find out the centroid. You have to divide this lamina into 3 parts. Okay. How you are dividing this lamina? We are seeing here. Okay. So you have to divide your object geometry here. First portion, your second portion, and here your third portion. You have divide this geometry into 3 parts. If some things that you have to extend some of the parts like that, sir, I want to take this part also in this object. Okay, you can take. Okay, if someone thinks you have to take this as a full part, you can take, no problem. Same way here, if someone tells me that, sir, I want to take this part, you can take, no problem. So this part tends to reduce. This is your shape is like that in such a condition. Okay, so you can either take full shape or some of the half shape like that to find out your centroid. Now you have to remember where it's centroid trying to locating. Okay, so we are just seeing your example right now. how to find out the centroid. They have taken three areas. First one area this one, second area this one, third area this one. Now you have to take this table, make this table. So top rectangular 200 by 20, middle rectangular 20 by 600, and bottom rectangle 580 by 20. So they have find out the write down the area B into D. Now we have to find out the x1, x2. So this is your geometry. You have to find out the x1. From x1 at how much distance it will located. So you have to, this is 200. So between it is having a 20 gap. So 20 plus 200 by 2. You can observe here 20 plus 200 by 2. Same way for y-axis. So total entire distance that is given y1. So that is y1 is equal to that distance 560 plus 20 by 2. That distance is 560. That is given in your lamina. You can find out from here. So you can observe here. Okay, this one. So sorry, 20 plus 560 plus 20 by 2. Okay, I have one mistake. 20 plus 560 plus 20 by 2. So directly you can calculate in here a1, x1, a1, y1. Same way here, you can directly getting your a1, x1. a1 you have already calculated, x2 that is equal to 20 by 2. y1 that is its entire dimension was given, okay, because it is connected with this lamina. So 600 by 2. Last object x1 that is 20 plus 580 by 2, and last one that is a total 20 by 2 and it is equal to 10. So you easily can sigma x, sigma ay, and sigma a. Now x bar is equal to sigma x upon sigma a. So you are getting 150.02 mm, and here y bar is equal to 220 mm. So here you have only located x bar and y bar. Okay. Now you have to find out the moment of inertia of the same object about three axes. First, top axis, next, bottom axis, and another one about its horizontal axis, vertical axis, and horizontal centroidal axis, and vertical centroidal axis, and top and bottom edges. And last one that is somewhat like here. So here is a centroidal axis, centroidal y axis. Here is a top flange of the axis, and here is a bottom flange of it. So for all these four conditions, we have to find out the moment of inertia of this object. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about how to find out the moment of inertia about centroidal horizontal axis. So we know that its centroidal horizontal axis is located at from bottom edge. It is 220.15. 220.15 as we have find out from this equation. Now this is a centroidal axis. Now from this axis at how much location, at how much distance your object centroid is located, that we have to find out the h1, h2, h3. Okay, so from this axis we have to find out the ig plus ah square. So simply you have to use, say, from this axis its centroid is located here. So total distance that is equal to how much you all know. Okay, so you have to find out this much distance. Okay, so this y bar you already know. Okay, so whenever you are calculating about the centroid or horizontal axis, then you have to consider the vertical distance. And when you are calculating about the centroid or vertical axis, then you have to consider horizontal distance. Okay, so total 600 minus 220.15, you are getting at 379. And out of this 379 minus 10. Okay, so you are getting 269 for this case. For this case, you have to consider this much distance. Okay, so this much distance, that is 300. Okay, you all know. So you can easily calculate from this axis. Your centroid is somewhere locating here. So this distance you know. So 300 minus 379.85. You can observe here. Okay, and last one. This is a bottom. So this 220 minus 10, you are getting a 210. So 369.79. Now IG. AH square you can easily calculate. You all know about the area. Now what is IG? IG, that means moment of inertia centroidal self axis. Okay, or centroidal axis. So BD cube by 12, simply formula you have to use BD cube. They have considered H because they have used terminology H here. So BD cube by 12. Okay, you have to use formula for here, and you are getting your answer, and you have to sum this one and this one. You are getting IXX1, IXX2, IXX3, and finally you are getting the IXX is equal to IXX1 plus 2 plus 3. You are getting your answer. So this is the moment of inertia about centroidal horizontal axis. Now another case, that is of moment of inertia about centroidal vertical axis. So when you are consider vertical axis, you have to consider your horizontal distance. Okay, so here you have to find out the h1, h2, h3 horizontally, and you all know the vertical distance. So this vertical distance, that is equal to 152.03. So you have to subtract them from 600. So you are getting a 447.97. Okay, so you all know they have used the terminology XL minus X1, XL minus L. So that is a larger distance they have considered. Okay, so X3 minus XL. So the XL distance, that is they have considered like that here. Okay, X equal XL 152. So you are directly getting X1 minus to find out this A1. So you have to subtract this much distance from here. Okay, so XL 152 minus X1, because your X1 is small here. Okay, because your X1 is small here, so you can directly calculate this distance here. Okay, same way here and here. So you have to calculate H1, H2, H3, IG plus AH square, again self. Here you have to modify dB cube by 12. dB cube, that means dB cube. And in previously we are using BD cube. Okay, so simply you can calculate from here. Okay, now from easily you can calculate I1, I2, I3. Now next, another one case is the moment of inertia about the top horizontal axis. Top horizontal axis, that means you have to consider it is topmost axis, and from that point you have to calculate H1, H2 and H3. Again you have to put all this value here, and you have to calculate it doing the same things. Okay, but here this is about the horizontal axis. Okay, you have to keep in mind this is about the horizontal axis. So you have to use the formula BD cube by 12. Okay, and next one, that is a moment of inertia about the bottom edges of the horizontal axis. So you have to consider this bottom edges, then you have to consider H1, H2, H3. Same way you have to mention here H1, H2, H3, AH square, IG, BD cube by 12. Same formula you have to use for both the cases. And you are getting the IBB, that is equal to moment of inertia about I11, I1, IB11, IB22, IB33. You are getting your equation here. Okay, so you can solve any kind of example by using a simple disk technique.